Hello, how is everyone? I've missed you guys. That's the truth. Hopefully everyone had a great day yesterday. Mine was good. It was busy. Happy to be back here streaming with you guys though. That is awesome. Rebels, thanks for the host. Welcome in, guys. How is everyone's day today? Hopefully the weather is nice and sunny like it is here. It's a little breezy, but I'll take it still. It's not rain, so I got nothing to complain about. And today's menu is pretty straightforward. Kind of doing like a German style thing with tonight's dinner. And I guess the pork tenderloin will kind of be like a schnitzel, but more of a fancy version with the cornflakes. And we'll cut the pork into like portions. So probably like 5-ounce portions, I would say, for each person. And then we'll coat it separately that way. And I'll probably just slice it into 3 pieces to serve it. And then the kohlrabi, that's traditional German style. The way to do it is like creamed like that. So you make a bechamel sauce and then it gets tossed in there. Really, really simple. Very simple flavors today. And then I just have a bunch of garden greens today. So we're going to saute those up. And we will have a bunch of time as well. So we're going to make pickles because my fridge is getting pretty full of veg. So today is a great day to use that up. Here, let's do a little show off for you guys. So here is the Swiss chard. I picked a bunch yesterday, so this is like a nice little Ziploc bag full. This is only half of it. I don't think I'll need the other bag though. And then here is our winter boar curly kale. So we'll use that as well for sauteing. And then all of the kohlrabi. The greens are pretty nice still. I'm just gonna gather them because I have quite a bit here, but you need quite a bit of these just because you do peel off a lot. So you end up with a lot less than what you think. And then if the greens are really nice, you can use them the same way as any kind of garden green. So we'll pick through those, trim them up. That should be good. And the purple ones are not purple inside. They're still white inside. But that would be super cool if they were purple. Imagine if they just turned the whole thing purple. Hey fam, how's everything been going? Oh, you're watching from work. That is so awesome. I want to do a stream from work, but it's gonna be quiet. Like I'm not gonna be able to talk much, but I think that would be so cool to do a sneaky little stream from work, just like even on my phone, if that's possible. Sure, you guys would love that. It's hard to hear, I bet. Well, thanks for being here. And then here's our garlic scapes. So 3 bunches here. They are wild. So we'll have to trim those up and pickle them. And then lastly, the radishes. So many. And then we pulled our first beet yesterday too. Look at that little guy. He looks just like a big radish, hey? I don't know if this is gonna be candy cane inside or not, but I'm guessing so. Because typically when they're this color on the outside, they are striped like a candy cane on the inside. So cool. What are these? Okay, so the garlic scapes, kind of surprised you've never seen them, but it's okay. I mean, in this area of Canada, they're very popular. So this is the bud that comes off the young garlic. So it always curls like this, like it just naturally does that. But this has to get snipped so that the garlic doesn't flower, right? So that gets all trimmed off. And we pickle them up. You can also grill them too, like give them a nice char. It just has a more like floral garlic flavor to it. It's not as pungent, and it's nice and crunchy and crisp. Yeah, steamed radishes, so good. So here is my massive bag of radishes. And this is not even half of what we have in the garden. So I was like, I need to start preserving some of these. So that's what we're gonna do. But I think before we pickle, we'll just prep up everything else for dinner and then start working on the pickles, just so we don't run out of time, but I'm sure we won't. Like I said, it's a pretty straightforward menu today. Thanks, fam. Honestly, let's have a little chat about my new job because it is so cool. Like, I am so grateful to have been even asked to work at this restaurant. So yesterday was my first day. I started at 11, and the guy that I help out first is the veg guy. So he showed up like 5 minutes later after I got there with all of the fresh produce from the day, or for the week, sorry. So he went to 2 different farms, the one that I am volunteering at, so Sea Bluff, and then the other one is called Uminami. Very hard to pronounce. But that farm only really does turnips and like Asian style vegetables, which is super cool. But the fact that I get to work at the farm and then the next day actually process the vegetables that I help grow and harvest is amazing. And to be able to feed that to other people besides my family, like it just feels so good. Hey mama, how are you? Happy to see you in here. Hopefully you've been well. Luna with the Twitch Prime sub. Awesome, welcome in. So I'm not sure if you know about the giveaway, Luna, but for the month of June, we're doing an apron giveaway. So one of these lovely handmade aprons that has the Cook with Kate logo embroidered on it. So anyone that subs to my channel for this month up until the 29th gets entered into the draw. So yay for you. That is awesome. Tilch, thanks. Luna, is this your first time here? Because I've never seen you before, but maybe you've been lurking. My first day of work was really good. Like, it already feels like home after 2 shifts there, so I know that I have found my place there. It's not stressful at all, like the most relaxed, loving and caring and open kitchen I've ever worked in. And it's just me and got like 2 or 3 other guys. So myself, chef, and then the 2 main guys, they have a stage, so I don't know if I'll ever work with the stage. I think he goes there like on my off days. And a dishwasher who I've never really worked with either, but I'm sure I will this weekend. Learning a lot of new stuff. Shadow, how's it going? Lemon. So happy to see everyone, honestly. I missed you guys. Oh, nice, femme. Okay, I'll have to go check out your emotes then. That is always such an exciting day. It's like, yeah, my emotes. Hey, Steve. It was good. It was really good. Did a bunch of random stuff and the day went by really fast. I'm gonna love it there, I know it. Oh, that's one of them. I love that. Coolest pineapple ever. Okay, so your guys already know the menu today, so I'm not going to go through it again. Timeline, the pork, for us to crust it, that will only take us around 10 minutes. Very, very easy. Just you need to set up, I'm going to do eggs mixed with a little bit of Dijon mustard. Kind of make it pasty so that the cornflakes really, really stick on there. And then to bake that, since we're doing smaller portions, I think it will bake within 10 to 15 minutes. So we only want to cook it up until around 145 Fahrenheit and then let it rest so that it comes up to around a medium temperature internally. That's the way I like to cook pork. I don't like to cook it well done. I just find that it gets way too dry and pasty almost. Steve, you were missing me. Dang, dude. I know, I was sad. I was missing you guys too. Hope all is well though. And then for the kohlrabi, we have to peel it. It does take a little while to process, so let's give ourselves 15 minutes for that. And then to cook it, the recipe I'm following parboils it first in some broth. So I'll probably cook it, let's say 80% in the broth, and then we just have to make up a quick bechamel. So a cream sauce. And then we'll keep those things separate, and then right before we serve, we'll toss the kohlrabi into the bechamel to get it coated. But we don't want to cook it together because I don't want it to go mushy. I had fun. Yeah, it's really, really fun. Everyone has great personalities. It's like a very tight-knit environment, which is great. Yeah, all of the veggies. Luna, thank you. Just spoiling me today. And then lastly, for our sautéed greens, easiest thing ever. It will probably take us 5 minutes to prep them. We just need to chop them up bite size. And then to saute them, 5-ish minutes. Let's say 5 to 7 minutes. They cook up really, really quick. And I typically first saute them with some oil and then cover them in a big pot. And then you'll notice how they go from like being this big to being like nothing in the bottom of the pot. So always use a lot more than you think you need. Very similar to cooking spinach, when you have this big handful and then you end up with like nothing. Thanks, Steve. Honestly, I'm just happy that it's a good environment and that I made the right choice. Like, everything happens for a reason, and as I get older, I start to notice that more and more. And then I didn't post the pickled radish recipe in Discord yet, so here's this one. I think this one is awesome. I like David Leibovitz, his recipes. He has quite a few cookbooks as well, but his blog has a lot of different recipes on it, and every time I've used them, they've worked out too. And that is it. So first things first, I think we'll just start with processing the greens. That way we can just put them into a bowl and put them back into the fridge for now. We can trim up the kohlrabi. I think it will oxidize a little bit after it's peeled, so maybe we'll just let it sit in water once we process that. And then lastly, I think we'll do the pork after that. That way it's all done, and then we can have fun with pickles. Am I growing French radishes? Yes. Yeah, these ones are so awesome. I love how they look they're longer, and then they have just the white little tip. Really, really nice. I wouldn't let them get much bigger than this just because they get super strong. Like, I ate one at the farm today that broke off. That was like a little bit bigger than this, and it was so spicy. I was like, oh, I think you guys let those go a little too long. They are, yeah, they're beautiful. So we'll do some, maybe not whole, but halved, and then the other ones we'll do sliced up nice and thin. That way it's good for garnishing too, and then the other halved ones are just good for munching on. Yeah, they're so cute. I don't know where everyone is. It's okay though. We got each other. I'm not concerned. I'm just happy to be back. Just gonna put the pork in the fridge for a sec. I mean, we're slowly getting up there, Steve. We're up to 20 now. Yeah, maybe just you need a refresh. So most of the stuff in the garden is doing really good too. The Brussels sprouts are gonna survive. I've been noticing more and more spiders in there. So I just let them kind of do their thing, and now the Brussels are super happy. So yay for that. And then I did some pruning on the eggplant today. So you have to prune them the same way as tomatoes do. Not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but I learned that this morning when I was doing some reading. And everything else is good. Like some of the stuff is getting eaten, as you can tell. But so far so good. Everything else is doing really awesome. The only thing I'm going to have to pull out is our squash, which I'm kind of sad about. But maybe I can get another seed in the pot, or I recommended to Betty, maybe we'll plant a lemon tree or like some kind of citrus instead. So I'm gonna chop this first and then we will wash it, because they are still quite sandy. With anything curly leafed like this, you'll be surprised how much sand and dirt gets lodged up there that you won't even notice. Optrix, how are you, man? You didn't plant a garden this year. The soil is shit. Yeah, you need to do some work in there, Steve. Get some mulch back in, some compost, make it healthy again. So all I'm gonna do to process the chard is just kind of stack them up on top of themselves. And try to line up where the stem meets the green, because that's where we're going to cut off first. In all of the granulations. Have you been a couch potato still, Optrix, or have you been up to no good? "15 minutes and you're free." I love it. Countdown. So there's that. And then for the greens, let's just chop them in half right down the center as best as we can. And then we'll just do bite-sized pieces like that. You had to go to school today for math meetings. 8:30 a.m. to noon. What do they think the summer off means? That sucks, man. But that's not too bad. At least you were gone by lunch. I'd be okay with that still. I'd rather do it earlier rather than later in the day and like wait around for it. And that goes with any job. Like, I'd way rather start in the morning and be done early than work a night kind of shift. You're revamping the scope and sequence. True. You did some shopping. Fun. Okay, so for the stems, you want to cut these pretty thin. Because they're actually not too woody, but we'll just keep them all relatively that size. It's actually really nice and juicy right now, so yay. Gonna do tortillas tonight with chicken thighs, tomatoes, grated cheddar, and green lettuce. Mmm, that sounds so good. Death, my man. How are you doing? And of course, hot sauce. Your homemade or a store-bought that you really love? That's good, man. That's great to hear. So just trim off the ends if they're looking a little bit sad like that. Do my coworkers know about my stream? Yeah, but you know what? I haven't given them any info yet. But I will on the weekend when I go in. Because they have Monday, Tuesdays off. Like the restaurants close those days. So even if they wanted to come over and like stream with me, I'd be so down. They're pretty cool guys. And they're very, very good chefs. They got skills. Melinda's Quattro X habanero sauce. Oh, I feel bad for your butt already. I can't do it, man. The new job is great, Des. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it is so, so cool. So Wednesdays, my job is to process all of the veg that's been picked up at or from the farms on that day. Because Wednesday is their Monday. So I get to work with vegetables that I've grown or helped grown, which is amazing. Like, to me, I'd rather do that than to cook like for mass amounts of people and use vegetables from everywhere. I think that's what I just got sick of when I worked in Vancouver, is like, they say everything is local, but there's no way that they could keep up with the demand in that city. There's no way. So like maybe a third of the vegetables and stuff that you use is grown locally and the rest is from wherever in the world because you need it now, right? Whereas the restaurant I'm at, we cook for the season. So once the thing is done, that's not coming back on the menu until the following year. So you better get it while it's good, because that's it. What kind of cake should you make for your brother's grad? Preferably an easy one. Steve, do you guys like chocolate cakes? Because I can give you Betty's recipe. That's unreal. Yeah, make the pineapple delight. Hey, Mulan. Yes, you can still request a dish. Welcome back. We've had a cool down. You're good to go. I will make something for you next week. It looks so good that it made you think about making it. Honestly, it was very easy. And I asked my parents how they liked it because my mom was the one that always made me the pineapple delight in like a big pan. And my dad's like, it's good. I'm like, that's the new school version. Okay, just washing this stuff up. Supply and demand, exactly, Death. And the restaurant just has like random people come in and drop off massive bowls of strawberries from their farm. For free. Like, they don't expect anything except maybe a glass of cider to drink on the water while they wait. Like, to me, that is such a cool relationship to have with people. Can I post it in Discord? How about you give me, just PM me, Steve, because I don't know if it's typed out yet. And I'll have to go and find it from the recipe book and type it out for you. So just message me to remind me, and I'll give it to you after the stream. Everything's all good, Mulan. All I can say is behave yourself and don't talk about my bobs. And Death, I have not tried tres leches. That is the one that I have not tried. But I've always eyed it up. I have to say that. It's like anytime someone talks about it, I always want to make it. But for some reason, I never have. Brum brum. It's a little late for cornflakes. Man, you can put cornflakes on anything. Okay, maybe not anything. But I love to sub them for breadcrumbs. And how's it going, Rook? Brum brum, this is a salad spinner. Tres leche is a thing down there. It's stupid easy. I know. And Brum, thanks for the follow. I thought you were following before. I had mentioned problems with these salad spinners. Is there a better brand? Honestly, I've never... Okay, so the only other better brand I know is restaurant quality, and it's called Dynamic. And they're usually fluorescent orange. I don't know if you can get them in smaller sizes, though, but that's what I've always used in restaurants. And other than that, I've used Betty's salad spinner, which is Tupperware from 1970. Let me look it up for you, Optrix. Oh yeah, you can easily find it. Just search Dynamic Salad Spinner, but I'm looking at them now and they're like $100. This one's not bad though, Optrix. Since we sent in the other one, this one's been okay. So I'm not sure. For 16 bucks, I mean, if you get it off Amazon, at least you know you can return it or exchange it if something goes wrong. Yeah, Tupperware. That's the only one, femme. Tried and true. The cake you just tried for the first time. Version has 8 types of dairy. Oh my goodness. I think I would love that then. You guys know I love my dairy. Even though I'm pretty sure it doesn't love me too much back. Okay, so kale, I always zip the stems off. If they're nice and small like this, we might be able to slice them thin and still use them on the dish. Just throw all the salad in the air and pick it up off the floor. Properly toss. Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah, it's only been a few weeks, it's true. I don't know, Lemon has the same one though. Lemon has the same spinner. Get this little guy. I don't think I'm gonna use him. He's a little yellowed. Lemon, how did I know that your mom for sure made tres leches when you were growing up? She would make her own condensed milk. That's respect. Bye, fam. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's try this. I don't like how stringy they are. Like, I have no idea why Posh eats these. I guess because it's similar to broccoli. Okay, so now once again, stack them up. Yeah, I think my first mistake, Optrix, was that we put it in the dishwasher is what I'm guessing. I don't really remember, but it got a little bit bent, and then the top part of the spinner, so these little nubbies fit inside of the bowl. So the bowl got like bent like this, and it wouldn't fit in those, so it wouldn't turn, right? But so far this one's good. Akran, no problem. You're just really excited, and I like it. How are you doing today? It would taste great even if it's not pretty. And that's like a lot of things. You're doing nothing? Is that what you're saying to me, Akran? That sounds like a day. Okay, these smaller pieces I'll just tear. You played video games all day long. That sounds like a really fun day. No work for you. It is summertime after all. Yeah, it definitely feels like summer. So ready for it. Okay, I think I'll do this in 2 smaller batches. No, I'll do it all at once. And now you're bored? Well, hopefully I'm not boring you too much. Okay, just going to washy wash again. I do like my coworkers. I do, Thunder. They're super chill. Really fun guys. Oh, don't even worry about your English. I can understand everything you've been saying. So don't feel bad about that. You like to cook, it's another one of your passions. Well, hopefully I can teach you some stuff. Oh yeah, today is summer solstice. Probably one of my favorite days of the year. I'm such a summertime person. And then I just hibernate in the winter usually. Okay, let's just pile it into the bowl. Mountain of greens, which you guys know it's gonna cook down to nothing. Guys, I picked so much kale at the farm today. I picked 65 half-pound bunches of kale. And that's just mostly for the market and the farm stand. So they're getting ready for the weekend. Just rinsing out the salad spinner. Okay, greenery is done. On to the kohlrabi. And I believe I overheard them say that they harvested the last of the kohlrabi today while I was there. So I'm pretty happy that I got those bunches the other week. Hey, Hammy Tom Tom, how are you? And Bachelor. Okay, just a sec, Karen, and then I'll bring the kohlrabi out. It is a type of cabbage. Kohlrabi is like a cabbage. And I believe we went over it last week about what it actually is, but this is what it looks like. So it looks really funny. Has this like ball with all these little stems coming off it, and it comes in purple too. So these are 1 pound bunches. But like I said, you do have to peel off quite a bit because it can get a little bit woody around this area. You're gonna be lurking lemon, sounds good. Brum, no one's ignoring you. You're just not saying anything. Don't give me that. What are we making, Tom Tom? We're just prepping up the stuff for dinner, and then we're gonna make some pickles. Yeah, it's kind of like a turnip. Exactly, daddies. And it's very popular in Germany. So it's actually called a German turnip. Same species as any brassica, so any cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprout, collard green, or gailan. You can eat it raw or cooked as well. And you can use both the leaves and the bulb part. And it was actually created by artificial selection. So that is very cool. Thunder. Just giving them heck. So let's take these elastics off. You wouldn't turn up your nose at it. Has anyone here eaten kohlrabi? And if so, what is your favorite way to prepare it? Because this is only my second time preparing it. But I do really like the flavor. Kind of reminds me of like a cabbage, potato, turnip cross. You love my crops. Thanks. You mean Crocs or crops as in pants? I don't want to wear shorts on stream. We get too many creepers in here. Not down with it. I'm sure you had kohlrabi when you lived in Germany. I didn't know that you lived in Germany. That is so cool. The sound of the leaves. I'm sorry, Thunder. I think it's just the elastic band on the leaves. Elastics everywhere. Okay, so first thing I think we'll do is take off all the leaves. Steamed with butter reminds you of broccoli stems. Yeah, that's a good one too. I like when they look like this. This is so cute. Yeah, what did I do last time? I roasted them in the oven, and that was really good. I like how they browned up. These purple ones I think are my favorite though. They match my knife almost perfectly. The shoes is crops. Actually, Karen, they are Birkenstocks. These are my kitchen shoes. My kitchen safety shoes so that I don't get burnt or drop anything on my feet. like a knife per se. Got a really, really good sole on them as well, so that way we never have problems with our backs or our feet. Face, arm, and neck is sometimes too much to handle. It's true. Yeah, imagine if a knee showed up. Or even bare feet. Ugh. I know what you mean, Lemon. Is this a ceramic knife? No, it's just it's called Kuhn Rikon. This is linked in my Amazon stuff on my channel page. And they make these in a bunch of different colors. My favorite paring knife to use, by far. I think my can opener is not the same brand, but they make a pretty good can opener. Kitten! And Bachelor, thanks for the host. Kitten, welcome in, guys. How was the stream? Raid hype. So nice. Why don't I put music? I used to put music, but now I just talk too much. Just like to enjoy your company. Okay, last one. So we'll leave all the greens aside for now. Honestly, our bowl is pretty full, but I think we'll still chop up these. Welcome in, Raiders. Thanks, Karen. I hope that you enjoy my company. Yeah, I try to be relaxing. I try to not make cooking super stressful. I want people to realize that it can actually be fun or almost therapeutic. Okay, so now, see how this is like really tough to cut through? So that's the end that's really woody. So just cut up a little bit farther than you think you should. And then you can cut the top off. So this is the end that goes in the ground. Purple is one of your favorite colors. Yeah, me too. I've always been obsessed with purple. You know what I'm missing though? Is from when I was younger, I had this pair of cord purple overalls. I could use those right now. I would be so down. I think I was maybe 10. Not even. It was good. It was a bit hard at first, but when you went in, you relaxed a bit. You have to learn to talk to yourself more, and you need more stuff prepared. What were you streaming today, Kitten? Were you cooking? And plus, was it your first stream? Because don't be too hard on yourself. Like, you will get the hang of it as you keep going, and it'll just get easier. Yeah, swishing away. Oh, yeah, guys. I know. See how much waste we already got off of this? That's why I said always take more than you think you need. Teaching Spanish. That is so cool. I might have to get in on that. I've been wanting to learn a language again. I did Spanish in high school a bit, but did not follow through with it. Are they really starchy? No, not at all. So let's try and peel this. I don't know if we'll be able to peel it with the peeler. I think it'll just be easier to use the paring knife. So we squared this up, which makes it very easy to work with. So we'll kind of peel it like how we peel a watermelon, let's say. Or if we're peeling an orange for segments, is just go down the side with your knife. and take off the skin part so you can see the difference there. Remember last time I peeled these with a peeler? Not fun. Why didn't I just use my paring knife? And then flip it over and just clean up the other side if you need to. These are really juicy feeling. Pretty excited. Okay, so that's all we need. It's dinner time. Uno más cerveza, por favor. That's the only one you need to know, Optrix. Should do an all Spanish stream. Cook enchiladas, wear a sombrero, and drink tequila, and only speak Spanish. Oh no. That'd be a disaster. By Spanish, you mean Spanglish, right? Because there's no way I could talk or speak just Spanish. Flesh reminds you of chayote. Yes. It really, really does, Lemon. It's a great way to compare it. Is the outside woody? Not too much. It's more woody on the part that grows in the ground. So this is the bottom part of it. So we cut quite a bit of that off because this part is really, really woody. Like I can't even break that with my hand. But the rest of it, like the skin is not too woody, but you definitely have to peel it off because it's bitter. And the flavor, so it's from the brassica family, so cabbages. So similar to that, someone in here compared it to a broccoli stem. And you could also eat it raw or cooked. I've only eaten it cooked so far, but I'll give this a taste in a sec for you guys. It's like a really mild broccoli stem. You vote for German stream? Yeah, we'll get Sammy in here. Is Sammy still planning to stream on the weekend? I think so. What did he say he was gonna? He was gonna cook me something for dinner. Oh, maybe sable fish or something. Black cod. Because I'm not gonna be home until probably 7:15 on Saturday. So we're gonna have a later dinner, but by all means, like, if you guys are down to watch Sammy cook and stream, then that can be a thing. I'm sure you guys would have a blast together. Our personalities are quite similar. No problem, Cookie. Hope all is well with you. You've never seen this. Yay, I stumped Lemon. Yes, Viune. And how are you? Mein Kampf. As long as he promises to drink beer. Oh, I'm sure we could arrange that. Good morning, Liz. How are you doing? You like cashews. I also like cashews. But I've been still obsessed with peanut butter lately after introducing it back into my life. But I do like to snack on cashews more than any other nut. People who are allergic, yeah, it feels bad, man. So I'm just cutting it this way down because if we get hooked on this, it can be a little bit weird. So always just make sure they're facing the other way. You've been good, Vune? That is great to hear. Vune, since you're in here now, what is your favorite way to eat kohlrabi? Since you're in Germany. You bought some more masoor dal. You're just loving it. I don't know if I can find that here. Oh, and one other note, guys, if you want to make kohlrabi, find them when they're nice and small like this, because the bigger they get, the more woody they get. So you'll have even more loss. So you want them nice and small like this. Anything bigger, don't even waste your money. You've never had it? Oh, gosh. Okay. Apparently it's like one of the most popular German vegetables to prep. How was work? It was so good, Liz. I started my day by processing vegetables from the farm that I work at. So that's how I get to start my week. Which just like is very humbling to me. It's like, hey, I've touched these before you did. Let's treat it with the utmost care and make it the most delicious. I don't live in the US. I live in Canada. I live on Vancouver Island. Kartoffel might be a bit more popular in Germany. I've never heard of it. Are the purple fleshed ones different in taste? Not that I'm aware of. This is the first time I've worked with the purple ones. But we were prepping them at work as well the other day, and the guy said there was no difference. And yeah, surprisingly, they don't get sick of me asking all of the questions, which is good. That means they're good chefs. Because if they get annoyed by that, well then, that's not right. Oh, and the person that bakes the bread for the restaurant, you guys are going to love this. So he's an ex-cancer researcher. Sold himself out early on. He is probably the same age as Sammy or around there. Maybe like 35, let's say. And now all he does is bake bread from his house and sell it to different restaurants and to people. How legit is that, though? Yeah, skinned, not flesh. How is the weather out there? USA, no. Oh, kartoffel is potato. I know, it's so cool. I was like, you're amazing, bro. Mad scientist turned baker. It's okay, Vune. Okay, so now, Sammy says that typically when they made this in his family, they always sliced it into nice thin slices. And I think that will look really nice on the bottom of the plate in the cream sauce. So let's prep it this way. It's 31 there, see? It was pretty hot, like interior island yesterday, like 29, but today it's a little bit cooler. I would say probably around 18, 19. But it always feels like really hot. So it says it's only 15 right now. So obviously, since I have peeled all these, they're not turning brown, so that's good. Now we know that we don't have to put them into water. Potatoes are the way to go in Germany. Can't wait to visit. Yeah, sort of like a scalloped potato, but with kohlrabi and not cooked for that amount of time. So for the slices, let's do something like that. Pretty thin, I would say like 1/4 inch. So just make nice rounds. You want it all consistent as well. That way we won't get any mushy pieces when we cook it. You don't want it to fall apart. Okay, and I can see at the bottom here, there's still some woody pieces. Oh God, Liz. You won them all. Well done, girl. Well done. The bones are on your side today. If you were to come to Canada, would I do an apprenticeship? Yeah. I've been wanting someone to come and visit me and cook with me here. I'd be so down. There is space. And plus, I live in an amazing place. I really have to say that. There's a lot to do here. Okay, look at that. So there's your woodiness. So you just want to trim that off. Because there's no way that you can eat that. You probably like kind of choke on it if we left it in there. Just not a good mouthfeel. The only problem is you live in the UK. Yeah, I'm not sure what flights are going for these days. But I would just recommend, if you want to do that, come for like at least a couple weeks. Make it worth your while, because I know that flight is not the most fun. It's pretty long. Space, the final frontier. You've never checked the bone thing. Lemon, you won too? Okay, now I'm sure the next person that goes all in is just gonna lose it all. Good luck and have fun. Last flight you went on was a flight of fancy. Fun. That is a doggo. Let's test her. Does she like kohlrabi? Okay, come here. Come over here. That's new. That's kohlrabi. This dog's palate is probably better than a lot of people's. Ready? She says thanks, bye. Posh eats more veggies than the average American. I think that is true. I believe you, Lemon. Did you miss anything, Rook? Not too much, man. We're just prepping the veg right now, so I'm just slicing the kohlrabi up. Okay, that's still pretty woody. I'm just gonna trim it down. I can feel it when I cut through it. It's like little sharp hairs. Oh, the Apple Watch. Sam loves his. He just wants to get the one with the phone built in. And then he's not going to use his phone at all. I was like, what? Yeah, there's so much you can do with it, Liz. I don't wear watches or even like much jewelry for that fact. So I think that would be a waste for me. What's the minimum age there for an apprenticeship? I am not sure about that one. I mean, what kind of apprenticeship are you talking about? Okay, there's all of our kohlrabi sliced. It looks good. Liz, you don't know what to do with it. Yeah, that'd be me. I'd be like, that's a nice, expensive accessory. Okay, so this greenery, I mean, most of this is not very nice. So let's just keep the pieces that are nice. And we'll add that to our greens to cook off. But anything that's yellowed at the top, don't use. What does an Apple Watch do? It does a lot of things. I'm not even sure all the functions on it. You can ask it what the score of World Cup matches are. Oh, how are the teams doing in World Cup? I am not up to date on what's been happening. So the purple leaves seem to be a lot nicer, hey? They almost last longer. Maybe just because they're darker colored. Is it like a portable Siri? Pretty much. You can poke it and Minnie Mouse tells you the time. Argentina's probably out. That's actually surprising. Okay, so I'm not using the stems. So same thing, kind of with the kale or the chard. Just line it up where the stem meets the green and then we'll slice it off. And then we'll just chop up the greens. There's a mini face? Is that like an app you downloaded then? She giggles and says the time. What? I've never seen that. I think that might creep me out though. It's the wallpaper for the watch. Okay. Okay, that makes sense then. Well, since these leaves aren't very wide, I don't think we have to chop them in half. I think we can just chop them like this. I'll just fold it over so it's easier. Boom. And we should definitely wash those too. Have I tried turkey eggs? No, Lemon. I haven't. I think someone in here has though, if I remember correctly. And if so, please speak up. It's an animated mini. You can even customize the dress color. Oh man. You need ostrich eggs. Yes, Rook. Yes. Ostrich scrambled eggs. Okay, we're almost done the veg. And then onto the pork. Yum. The woman with the duck eggs hasn't had any eggs laid yet. Someone else is selling turkey eggs. What? Why does this sound weird? Fish eggs. Okay, you need some lobster roe. You once found an egg inside of an egg? What? In a chicken egg or what? That's so weird. Okay, there we go. Veg prepped. Yeah, conjoined egg twins. What? With the shell on. I wonder what happened. Yeah, what did you do with it? That is the question. You threw it away. Yeah, didn't trust it. I wouldn't have either. Learning moment, just thrown away. Okay, we need a sheet pan with a rack. So a metal rack. And that way we'll get all of the edges around the pork with the cornflakes super crispy. Just I'm going to line this pan with some foil first. Something happened to my tray, it got bent. I don't know. I'm just lining it just so it's easier to clean after. Not sure if any of the pork juices are going to come out or not. But that's our setup that we're looking for. And we'll get these two pans, one for the egg wash and one for the cornflakes crushed up. But we'll prep that after. So first we're gonna do the pork. We need to just trim it up a bit and portion it. This cutting board has seen better days. We need to straighten that out, so I will deal with that later. On to the next one. Kylie, I haven't seen you in here for a while. Thanks for the bits. I am doing very well. How are you doing? And yes, Lemon, cornflake crust is so good. I've never done it with pork. But I asked Sammy if he had any requests for this week, and this is what he said. Cornflake crusted pork tenderloin. So I said, okay, let's make it happen. Thanks for the host as well, Kylie. Much appreciated. So here is our mass amount of pork tenderloin. Thanks, Costco, for that. Then this was $20. So very inexpensive. And we're only going to be using 2 of these. So the other 2 will be put in the freezer. This has not been frozen yet. That is good to hear, Kylie. I'm gonna take this, maybe I won't take the really, really big one. Maybe I will. Take 2 out. Like, this is massive. Pork tenderloin never used to be this big. What have they been doing to these pigs? I don't want to know, to be honest. You were supposed to be lurking 42 minutes ago. And now what, Lemon? You can blame me, by all means. Hormones, I know. I know, Liz. It probably is true. Well, hopefully working at the restaurant, I'll get some good contacts for some local meat. We do have to trim these up just a little bit. Now lurking for reals. Okay, sounds good. So this really shiny white part right here, we have to take that off because it's tough. And then usually there's this little nubby here too. That I don't know why they even leave it on, to be honest, because it always kind of just falls off anyways. But the rest of this looks okay. I don't know, honestly. I think they need a new butcher at the Costco that I go to because it shouldn't be torn up like that. And that is what happens when people don't care about their job. So just trim that off and we will square this up as well. So we'll get a little bit of trim off this, which I will freeze as well, and then I'll probably use for a stir fry or something. But these little ends, like those are gonna cook so fast that they're just gonna dry out. So there's no reason trying to save it for something really nice like this. They are massive, yeah. And then you can kind of see how this part peels up. So peel that up and then just cut it away. That part's not super tough, but it just kind of protects the silver skin here, so I always just peel it off first. That way it's just harder to cut. You're gonna head off. All good, Vune. Oh, don't even be sorry. You're working on a short story. Fun. Good night, Vune. I will catch you tomorrow. I can't believe it's Friday already. Oh my goodness. Have a wonderful sleep, sir. Okay, so just make a little insertion here, just under where the silver skin is. And then poke your knife through. I usually do around a 1/2 inch piece. And then just nicely go along and keep your knife right under there, just so you don't get too much meat wasted on there. And then you can just quickly slice it off right where it ends. That's what happens to your skin when you get sunburned. Yeah, me too, Liz. Me too. Hopefully I don't get sunburnt anymore this summer though. It's not my favorite thing to do to myself, that's for sure. It's not like I do it on purpose. Okay, so we're almost there. There's just a little bit over here that I left. And then just a bit right here. Beautiful. Okay, now it's nice and smooth. So we'll just put that aside for a sec. I guess I can show you the underside. So there's not too much to clean off the underside. This is all just fat, which is flavor, so we'll leave it. Yeah, yay for the weekend. Woohoo. So just smooth it out, make your cut. I don't know about that piece. It's hanging on, so I won't cut it off. But this end here, definitely cutting it off. There we go. So we got our good meat, and then our trim for whatever we want to use with. Like I said, probably just a stir fry. Something I can just quickly cut it up. Yeah, this is pork tenderloin. So the pork version of beef tenderloin, which the beef tenderloin is very expensive, compared to pork tenderloin is very cheap. But both are very tender. And the pork tenderloin does take on a lot of different flavors, so You can prepare it a lot of different ways. Boom. That guy is good. I know that you guys can see that it kind of goes up farther, but it's not super tough there. Because if you try to keep getting that out, you're just going to keep cutting the meat off. So just leave it. As long as you don't see the really tough white stuff, you're good. So the trim, that stuff will just go into the compost. And like I said, this will be packed up, so I'm going to do that now. Just a small little baggie. What's everyone cooking or eating today? Fill me in, guys. Okay, now we're gonna break this down. So I think we'll try and get 3 portions out of each one. Obviously this one's thicker. Maybe we'll get 4 out of this guy. Barbecue ribs and baked potatoes. Spicy Korean wings. That sounds so good, guys. Trying to think of how big of a piece this is going to be. Now I'll probably just do it 3 still. Just keep in mind the center is the biggest part, so always make your ends a little bit longer. So something like that. And that. Same with this one. Perfect. Looks so good. So now, actually, before we even turn this over and start our egg wash and stuff, we have to season this. So I'm just gonna do salt and pepper, and then we'll mix some chopped herbs into the crushed cornflakes. I thought that would be really nice. What was Sammy planning on cooking on the weekend? He was thinking of maybe doing some sablefish or black cod. So same fish, just some people know it by different names. I don't know what he's gonna cook with it though. Hey Elvin, how are you? And I'm just seasoning this up a little bit early so it has time to absorb before we bread it. And I'm just going up pretty light so that I can do it on both sides. Nice light seasoning. Too lazy to lurk. Aw, Lemon, you're my fave. So just imagine if this was a pork chop flattened out, how much salt and pepper you would need for it. Elvin, how was work? I saw that view that you posted. Insane. It reminded me of Vancouver. Just glass and buildings everywhere. Yeah, very, very different from my view now. How am I going to cook the tenderloin? Well, I'm going to coat it with the cornflake crumb mixture, and then we're just going to bake it. Probably at 400 Fahrenheit. Work was really good, Alvin. Really, really good. I know I'm gonna learn a lot there, and I'm gonna do different stuff all the time, so I'll never get bored. And I'll work with different ingredients too. And I get to work with the stuff that I help grow at the farm. So I'm pretty blessed. It makes me feel really good. Just trying to help the world out a little bit. Okay, so in this guy, we're gonna be doing, I think, just 1 egg and some mustard. So you don't need a heavy coating for this. You miss green. Yeah, that's how I felt living there too. Lemon, go chop your stuff. Chef's orders. You slacking on prep or what? Just washing my hands up. And then we're gonna chop some herbs, crush some cornflakes, have some fun. Oh, the coworkers are great. They're all very respectful, well-behaved. They got good humor. That's all I can really ask for. It feels like home, is what I said to Sammy yesterday after getting home. Lemon, that's what Betty said yesterday. So we had pizza, and I was okay with it. So Dijon mustard, I have 1 duck egg. I'm just gonna check these yolks. I think they're gone. Do the sniff test. Sometimes you just gotta order a pizza. Yeah, well behaved. At least while I'm there, they are. But honestly, I have worked with guys in kitchens for so long that those little innuendos do not bother me anymore. Yeah, get your mise in order. Yeah, on the first day. It is really good, Steve. I am happy there. But I've always been one of the guys, so that's not weird for me ever. And plus the chef's wife, like it's a husband and wife team that runs the restaurant, and she is so awesome. Like she recognized me from when we came and ate in the dining room. So I'm just gonna whisk this egg up first. That's nice and smooth. Scrambling. Knowing guys you wouldn't trust other fellas. Well, I think the one guy has a girlfriend. I don't know about Cal though, the guy that I work directly with, but he's awesome. He's not, no one's creepy. As Chef said on my interview day, he's like, no one in here is creepy. I was like, okay, I'm okay. Okay, so I don't want this too mustardy or else Sammy will yell at me. So maybe a tablespoon will be good. But at the same time with the cornflakes, he probably won't notice. So let's do a little bit more. He knows I like to push my limits on the mustard amounts when I cook with it. Just trying to break him down one day at a time. The one guy has a girlfriend in Canada. What? Okay, mix this in. So that's gonna add a little bit of flavoring. It's more of like a thick egg wash is how I want it to be. saying. Only good mustard is honey mustard. You're one of those people too, Rook? I'm surprised. I have not eaten honey mustard in so long. Now I want chicken fingers. The girlfriend in Canada is code for imaginary girlfriend. Yeah. I get it. I've got a girlfriend up in Canada. Yeah, okay, sure you do. Good one. Okay, so now I don't want to use another Ziploc bag to crush these. So maybe we'll just do some weird stuff with a potato masher in this pan. You don't mind mustard on your hot dog. I need mustard on my hot dog. Good evening, steampunk. Okay, so I said around 2 cups of cornflakes to start. And plus we're gonna crush them up, so then we'll have even more surface area for it to coat. Oh, Betty has the potato masher still. Which I don't know where that is now because the kitchen doesn't exist upstairs. So let's just do this. You did use regular mustard as a base for your dry rub on the last brisket. No, you can't taste it. That's the thing. That's exactly what Sam does to his briskets, is just mustard rub and then your salt and pepper. That's it. But you never can taste it after it's smoked or cooked for a long amount of time. So you just need to break these down so that they stick a little bit better. I just find that the big chunks don't like to stick on as well. Do I have a favorite cooking movie? Oh, I love Ratatouille. Like, I think any cooking movie I really enjoy. I like the movie Julie and Julia. I think that's what it's called. About Julia Child. And what's the other one? Is the other one called No Reservations or something? I forget. That has, who does it have in it? Bradley Cooper? That one's really good. I really like that one. Okay, so I think that's good. If you feel it needs more, you can even just crush it with your hands. It's a weird sound / feeling, though. Hey, Buff, how are you? Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Hammy Tom Tom, but I didn't want to waste another Ziploc bag. It's still plastic. So this is what we're gonna do instead, and now we just need to chop up some herbs to put into there as well. Buff, how are you doing, man? How's the leg healing up? You like Martha Turner Goes to Jail. Never heard of it. Is that like a spoof off of the Martha Stewart going to jail? So typical herbs to put with pork: sage, rosemary, and thyme. Parsley you can put as well. Or cornflakes. Well, it's still edible. It would still be delicious. They're just a little bit smaller now. Okay. What did your dad ask you, Steve? Yeah, the Bradley Cooper one. I like it. What the heck happened there?
That's super ripe.
So just a couple sprigs of thyme. And then I think I have some sage in here too. This is Kate's mixed bag of herbs. You don't need too much sage though, because it is quite strong. And then I think we'll just leave the parsley to maybe garnish with afterwards. Or we'll chop up some herbs to put in to the greens later. So typically I like to do dill and parsley and chives in with the sauteed greens. Thanks, Lemon. Yeah, we're trying to be a little bit more environmentally friendly. And then there's the classic No Country for Old Cooks. That's not a one. That's not even. And if it is, never heard of it. Just call you Hammy. But I like saying Hammy Tom Tom. It's black all over. What? Is that like a good thing? Like round scissors, almost like a cigar cutter. What? Turkey eggs are going to be picked up this weekend. You were offered quail eggs and quail scissors. Oh God, good luck with the quail eggs. I don't want to touch them ever again. Overrated. Try cooking a bunch of those during brunch to garnish a dish with. Not fun. But if you've never had them, for sure try it. They are nice. They're fun. They're fun to cook with, but not while you're rushing. Rook. He asked you where the basting brush was so he could brush on the marinating that the raw meat was sitting in while the ribs cooked. Well, that's a good thing though. He's basting those ribs, putting some flavor on them. We'll go pretty fine with these as well. The herbage. Did I get to see your knife? I don't know if I saw it because we were eating outside. Sammy and I don't like have anywhere really to eat in here. So we were just eating outside, but when we did watch a little bit, whatever he was making, that little curly thing was so cool. But I don't think I saw your knife. It's okay as long as you give the raw marinade time to cook. Exactly, yes. That is right, Rook. So don't just brush it on when you take the ribs off. Kitten, sounds good. Thank you for the raid. And I hope you have a wonderful sleep. He was making hooks. Okay, that's what we thought. I was like, it looks like he's gonna make a hook for something. I guessed right. You think he sent it now? Well, you'll have to show me it still. So does this guy live in Wales then? The blacksmith? You don't trust your dad to do that? Well, you have to teach him, Steve. You can teach old dogs new tricks. And if he gets mad, well, you can send him to me, and I'll deal with it. Lemon lurking for reals. Okay, we'll see. He lives in the U.S.? I thought he had kind of an accent. Virginia. Okay, last herb. Not that old dog, he doesn't listen. Yeah, he seemed like a really cool guy. And if you can't teach an old dog a new trick, it's time to put it down. Albus, yeah, I'm back. It was only a day, guys. It was only one day. I was kind of worried. I was like, will they come back to me? I hope so. Calories. Sup, Paradian. Okay, that's evenly mixed in now. Smells good. Fancy cornflake pork. It ain't no basic-ish. Okay, so gets dipped into the egg wash first, into the cornflakes, and onto the sheet pan lined with a metal rack so that the air can circulate and crisp it up on all sides. It was only one day, yeah. It felt like forever. It felt like an hour. Thanks, Buff. Typical chef thing to say. Put some milk in the egg. No, we want it to be pretty pasty, let's say. Pretty thick. So, the pork has absorbed most of the salt already, which is great. So now we know that it's not all just gonna fall off. Now into there. This is gonna be my wet hand now, so that we don't mess up my dry hand. So do that. Give it a flip. And if you need to, just sprinkle on some more flakes with your dry hand. The pork is pretty soft, so it's not the easiest thing to do. But I think I'm just going for something like that. Maybe we need one more little piece there. And we'll keep that as the presentation side. So that just goes right onto the rack. And they are pretty delicate, I will say that. And I don't know if we have enough crumbs, to be honest. We might have to do up another batch. Rich people with this technique? What? I am not rich. Farthest thing from it. Pour milk in the cornflakes. Yeah, herb-flavored cornflakes for brekkie. How can you tell when the meat absorbed the salt? Oh, you don't see the salt anymore because it dissolved. Looks like Rice Krispies. Corn Krispies. Yeah, what are you on? You used to be cool. I don't know what happened. Thanks, Optrix. Yeah, don't call me American. It smells really good. I smell the herbs already. Just want to make sure that we don't get it all boned up. Parodian has spilled some milk in his cornflakes. You've been doing meat wrong your whole life? No, you haven't. You have not, Lemon. Don't even worry. I just wanted to make sure that it was salted before I did this. You could also put salt in the egg wash or in the cornflakes. But if you put in the cornflakes, it won't absorb in the same way because that's kind of on the outside of the meat, right? That's why I decided to just season it up a couple minutes ahead. Let it absorb, and then that way we know it should be seasoned perfectly. Okay, I think we'll have just enough cornflakes. Running on a thin line, my peeps. Yeah, the roulette command is super simple, Rook. Oh no. See, I told you guys you were gonna start to lose them. You can't always win. I warned you. Ah. Go away. Go away, sound on the map. Goodbye. Rook lost them all. R.I.P. Rook. Yeah, totally. And we are doing the ends of these as well. That's a must. Guys, will we have enough? Maybe. Caramel. I like that username. Thanks for the follow and welcome in. Hold your beer. You're tossing all of them. See? I told you. It's rigged. Yeah, who pooed? He didn't even just spill the milk. Someone straight up pooed in his cornflakes. Luckily not these ones. These are delicious. Wow. Slim pickings. That's what I think. No! That's why we had to put the herbs in to cover up the flavor. Okay, we're going too far. I am comfortable talking about poo, so don't even get me started. Roll it. This dish is gonna be clean after we're done. The dog is sad because you lost all your bones. Yeah. Maybe he buried a couple in the back for you, though. Maybe he's got you covered. Okay, we had just enough. So, a little bit of egg wash left. Not too much, though. I am totally okay with that. Let me just wash this stuff up, and I'll show you guys what we ended up with. Okay, here's this. I'm just gonna do a little bit of rinsing right now. I have a jar that I'm washing out for the pickles as well. Because we be pickling today. We should have time now that we're done all the dinner prep. All we have to do still is make a bechamel. Which takes about 20 minutes. Sushi, thanks for the host. He does hide his treats sometimes while you're gone. I love when dogs do that. It's so cute. Posh would never. She is just savage. Down the hatch goes every single one. You don't want to lose your form. Yeah, you got to keep your puns ready to go. Okay, so there's our cornflake pork. Ba-doom. With Cocoa Puff default? Who knows? I would probably do that with beef. Cocoa puff mixed with some ancho chili and coffee. Put onto beef tenderloin. I'd be scared for someone to come and do terrible things to me. Frosted flakes and honey mustard chicken tenders. I don't know. Cereal for the win. So this can stay out. It'll cook a lot better if it's at room temp. And I'm thinking it will be going in the oven within the next, let's say, 45 minutes to an hour. So that's okay there. Don't worry. It's safe. Raisin bran and brown sugar. That'd be good. I think the cornflakes would be good on fish too. Okay. So maybe we'll do up the bechamel now so that when it's time to get dinner ready, it will be quick. Like maybe a 20-minute cook time. Very, very simple. Do you ever substitute steak sauce with chocolate sauce? I have not. Weetabix on pork. Yeah, the color is almost the same. I would just like spice the chocolate sauce up a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna double the recipe because it calls for 3 to 4 kohlrabis. I had, I think, 8 or 10. And this recipe says they use broth in their bechamel, but we have a bunch of milk and I want it to be nice and smooth and creamy, so we're gonna do milk. And then the base is butter and flour, so a roux. French term, equal parts fat and flour. And that is what is used to thicken it up. So I'll just go grab the milk. We need to crack open a new one and then we'll get this started. Bye, Hammy. Thanks for being here. The kohlrabi dish, I mean, it's just gonna be simply the kohlrabi slices coated in the creamy sauce on the bottom of the plate. Very, very simple. I've maybe eaten it this way once. It'd probably be really good with a cheese sauce too. That old school cauliflower with cheese sauce, so good. Today we have all of the milk. So a liter of milk is what we need. You had no idea it was an accent aigu on the E in bechamel. You always pronounce it with a short E. Bechamel? Bechamel. Bechamel. You just have to put an accent on it, and it sounds proper. That's a long E. Bed. Oh, bechamel. I get it now. Thanks, teacher. Bechamel. You're Italian, you knew it. I love that. See, it translates both ways. Okay, butter. It says 1.5 tablespoons, so let's do 3 tablespoons of butter and then 4 tablespoons of flour. That's not quite equal parts, but I know it's gonna work out properly. let's get our pot. This guy right here. It's a good thing we're using up the butter today. It's starting to smell a little bit cheesy. But I know it's not past the point yet. It's well aged, I'll say that. There's so much to love. I love Italian food. Let's do that amount. 3-ish tablespoons. Now we just need to start melting that. Get some flour out. Do I tan or burn? It depends on the body part. I mean, like forearms and like lower legs, I always tan first. But anything other than that, burn. Every time. Unless I just put sunscreen on like every hour. I think Italian ingredients are my favorite. But I don't know, it's hard to say because I really love Asian ingredients too. I don't know. So we will need a whisk for this. We'll have to whisk the milk into the roux so that we don't get lumps. You love how I pronounced bechamel. That's my Italian accent. Didn't Julia Child say that Italian wasn't really cooking and that's why she didn't cook it often? Did she? I didn't think she would say that. She's probably pretty feisty though. She was proud of her country. Thanks for clipping that. Might have to post that somewhere. Yes, research it. Do it. Okay, so as soon as the butter's melted, we will whisk in the flour until it's pasty. It should be pretty thick. And then slowly whisk in the milk. And that way we won't have any lumps. And then to cook it out, we need to cook it until it comes to a boil. And as the bechamel heats up, the flour likes to sit at the bottom of the pot until it gets cooked in. So we need to keep stirring it pretty often because otherwise it will cook onto the bottom of the pot and burn within 5 minutes if you don't watch it. And we don't want that because the whole sauce will be ruined and it won't be thick at all. Cat God, hi, how are you? Yeah, the French are purists. Okay, butter's melted. Put some flour in. Give it a whisk. Okay, it's still a little bit wet. Just put a touch more in. Like that. But you want it until it doesn't stick onto the pot at all. So that's what we're looking for. Now, just a bit of the milk to start. it will start to thicken when it starts to get mixed in like that. But we want this nice and smooth before we add more. So there's that. Add a little more. Get out of the whisk. I'm not looking at chat right now just because this has to be done properly. So if you're making bechamel, make sure that you're not doing too much other stuff at the same time. Because no one likes a lumpy sauce. We're almost there again. Make sure you scrape the sides as well. Sometimes the flour likes to stick in there. Okay, so that's smooth. Now we can just simply add the rest of the milk because there's no more lumps. And then that just gets cooked. It'll probably take around 10 minutes. I am doing good. Thanks for asking, Cat God. Welcome in. If my hair is shorter, do my curls get tighter? Yeah. Oh yeah. This is the curliest it's been in a long, long time though. So as soon as I moved out here to the West Coast, I just like stopped making my hair straight. Because it's just so humid that it's impossible to do, so I just gave up. And now, I think I have some nutmeg. Just need a pinch of that. And that is very typical. Watch out. That's a very typical spice to put in the beige. Cook's info site says Julia wasn't keen on Italian and Mexican. What? Italian food lacked the sort of technique that interested her about French food. And she found Mexican food too spicy. Typical French person. She also didn't like grilled vegetables. What? I love grilled vegetables. Am I a chef? Yeah. You don't like it lumpy. You take it too far and it gets too thick. Maybe just your ratios are off. Because my beige never gets too thick. You might just need less of a roux. Thanks for the follow, Cat God, and the host. That is awesome. So, just a little bit of nutmeg because this is quite strong. So, be a quarter of a teaspoon is lots. Whisk that in. And then we will season this at the end once it's thickened. But the nutmeg I know will taste really good with the kohlrabi as well. Yeah, what is a chef? What's that? I just like to cook things and eat food. Just gonna wipe up a little mess that I made. Can you guys hear the birdies outside singing? Okay, there's that. philosophy. The bechamel is thick, not liquid, yes. I'm an artiste. Not even. My plating is so simple compared to a lot of chefs. I mean, half the time my plates don't even have a sauce, which is incomplete. Okay, I think we should also cook the kohlrabi partly right now, and then we can just focus on the pickles, which are pretty easy to do. Mine is too liquid. It has not cooked in yet. Believe me. Why do fancy restaurants serve little food? So that you order multiple courses. I think this will fit. I think we'll be okay. We're pushing limits, as always. So I am going to make a little bit of veg stock in here. I think that's our best option here. And then we will just, I guess, boil the kohlrabi in there. So fill this around halfway with water. And you want it warm so that the veg stock will dissolve in there. You've always seen fancy restaurants serve small portions. Yeah, they typically do. Okay, we need another whisk. Don't want our flour to stick. In Langford at Winners, there's a Le Creuset coffee bean holder. Guys, Sammy's shopping. This is a rarity. I am shocked. Just trying to open this jar. It's too hard. Okay, we got it. This should be the last of this one too. Slim pickings. I have to say, the kohlrabi is a little bit stinky. Definitely can tell it's from the brassica family. It's like not really pungent, but every now and then I just get a little whiff of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, the kohlrabi. So this is all we're doing right now. Just making a little bit of veg stock or broth. Do I live alone or with my parents? So my boyfriend and I live in a suite in a walkout basement, and my parents live upstairs. It's our family compound. You would hate shopping. Grocery stores stress you out. Yeah, I went through a phase when I kept getting stressed when I went grocery shopping, but now I just don't care. I just try to enjoy it. But I also try and get in and out as fast as possible. So Sam and I are those people that just like race around with the cart and don't give a heck. Okay, that's pretty much dissolved. I think once this comes up to a boil, the rest will dissolve. Stir on this. Because it sticks on really quick if you don't watch it. You can already tell that it's wanting to stick. So I'm scraping it a bit. No, you're not. Not today. And I think I'm just going to transfer this to the back so that the kohlrabi can have the bigger burner. You can tell it's summer. What? You're cooking? What are you cooking? Your Mexican food. So good. Wonder Chuck. Thanks for the follow and welcome in. They give out their hot dogs? I didn't know that. I've never been to Sam's Club. Never been there, but I don't know if we have one here to begin with. What is the meaning of life? I don't know how to answer that question. Is there a meaning of life? I don't really know. I just live every day to be that day. I don't know. I try not to plan ahead too far because you never know. So you just gotta live in the moment, guys. That's it. Enjoy it. The ups and the downs, it's all part of it. I mean, if you don't have the downs, then life would be too easy. Then you really wouldn't know the meaning of life. Sam's has a food court and they sell pizza and hot dogs. Yeah. So that's similar to Costco then. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly go to the bathroom and then we'll come back and finish this stuff off. How'd you get the Amazon order? And walk the dog and preheat the oven. Rook's doing everything. Hey, we're almost there. Fox and Chihuahua. I've never heard of that mix, but that's super cool. And while I was going to the bathroom, Thunder, I thought about the meaning of life. Good food, good company. That's all you need. That's all I really care about. Doing stuff that makes you happy. Okay, this is boiling. I don't know if it's thick enough. Akaran might be right. We'll wait it out a couple minutes Let it boil for a bit and see if it thickens up. The toilet made me think, yeah, I had like what, 30 seconds to think about my answer to that question. Oh, you know what? I didn't do it right. So we are only supposed to add... Oh, no, it said 1 to 2 cups of the broth to make a velvety sauce, and we doubled it. I don't know about this recipe, guys. He'll start snapping around trying to eat the smallest bug flying around. That is Posh, too. And she actually eats the flies. It's so gross. We might have to bump this up with a little more roux. So the way that I'll do it a little bit thinner. So we'll have to melt a little bit of butter, stir in the flour, but we want it liquidy enough so that we can whisk it in without getting any lumps. That is what we are going to have to do. So it's fixable. It's just not the most fun. Like if you're making a bechamel, you shouldn't have to fix it. So let me just turn that off for now. Still keeping count. Love it. By the way, what are you keeping count of? I got lost there. How many beers? Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure. You're doing good, Rook. You're doing good. Nine beers in on a Thursday. I mean, it's Thirsty Thursday. You can't even get upset. We're steaming up in here. Hey, Tig. Yeah, cornflakes, yum. Okay, so here's the melted butter. This butter pot is donezo. And 2 16-ounce mixed drinks in the last 2 hours and 30 minutes. You are doing good, sir. You're a lightweight. Me too, Thunder. Me too. So stir in our flour again. But this one's going to be more liquidy than the proper roux. So we're making a loose roux. Gin and tonic, yum. Cornflake crusted French toast. That would be really good. With jam. It's almost like the cornflake tart from the UK. Okay, so there's our second roux. And our broth is boiling now too, so we'll move on to that after we fix the base. Fixing the base. Mixed drinks were orange juice, Monster, and vodka. Dangerous. Dangerous, dude. Okay, so just drop all of this in here and we'll quickly whisk it. Our bechamel has a little skin on it, so that's good. I know we're close, but it just wasn't quite enough. It wasn't quite thick enough. So I'll just have to let that cook out a bit more. And yes, we will still have to stir it quite frequently. So now that that's boiling, let's drop in the kohlrabi. Just be careful it doesn't splash, so go nice and close to the broth or the water. You should be good. Going to push it down into the broth there. You've never had Monster drinks. I am not big on energy drinks anymore. I can't even drink coffee, never mind have those sugar-filled things. Oh yeah. Okay, that's gonna be perfect now. So these little slices of the kohlrabi, I'm gonna guess they'll take around 5 minutes to soften up. We only want to cook them 80%. And then before dinner is ready, around, let's say 10 minutes before, we'll heat the bechamel back up and put the kohlrabi in to finish cooking in there, and it'll kind of soak it up and be delicious. Only good Monsters are the low carb blue one and the orange juice. Juice one has orange, pineapple, white grape, tangerine, and peach. That sounds really good. Red Bull. Oh man. Red Bull is what I lived on in my first year of cooking in kitchens. You had to have that high energy to keep up with everything. Thanks for the follow. When breath becomes air. We are baking the pork, Tig. We are baking it. I've never done pork this way before, so that's a first. And let's chop up the herbs for our greens as well. So dill, parsley, and chives. I promise we're still gonna get to the pickles. We will. Steampunk! 2 months in a row. The apron is gonna be yours. It just might be. Thanks for the support. That is much appreciated. I know, I'm super excited to see who actually ends up winning it. And I guess, guys, if we don't get to the pickles today, we will for sure get to them tomorrow. And tomorrow is Liz's menu. She's cooking some Italian food. Okay, chivers, parsley. I think I need to go pick some dill. And he will give it to you. Exactly. Okay, so let's check this base. It should just coat the back of a spoon. Perfect. Perfection. So it's not running or anything like that. So that's perfect sauce consistency. And if you swipe through it, the mark stays. It's really tasty. Perfect amount of nutmeg. But we still need to add some salt and pepper. Maybe though we'll add the salt and pepper later when the kohlrabi is in there. I think that's probably the better option. Just because the kohlrabi is cooked in vegetable broth, so there is salt in there. I don't want to over salt the bechamel and then have it be too salty at the end. Cat's drinking tea. Thanks for the follow as well. It's nice and rich. Okay, so that can come off. It's not going to stick onto the bottom anymore. Let's just take a paring knife. Yeah, what kind of tea is the cat drinking? Just poke one of these guys. Still a little crunch. So I'll wait a couple more minutes, which will give me time, I think, to just go quickly chop or pick some dill. Go harvest. You prefer nice and poor? You're crazy, Brum. That is why I have the herbs just outside the door. You drink Red Bull with whiskey, Rook? Man, you are nuts. I love it. Okay. Let's turn that off. And I think I don't want to throw out the veg broth. That can be used for something else. I think I'll just take it out of here and just put the kohlrabi back into the bowl that we had it in. And I'd rather have this a little bit crunchy than mushy and falling apart. So good. Okay, I'm just gonna take that broth off so it can cool down a bit. Bam. Earl Grey or a nice fruity rhubarb. I like your style. So let's pick these. I was at the grocery store today and you forgot to get limes. Had to make do with a squirt of lemon juice. Yeah, that works. Red Bull and whiskey have the same flavor profile almost. Maybe that's the one way I'll be able to drink whiskey is with Red Bull. Because there's no way I can do it just by itself. Picking our greenery. we'll just chop this stuff up and put it into a bowl. And we'll put the herbs into the greens right after they're cooked, so that it stays nice and fresh. For Jack Daniel's Black for mixing and Blanton's Bourbon neat. Yes, Rook. I was waiting. I was like, I don't even have to say anything. I'm just gonna stay quiet. Thanks, man. See, guys, imagine if I wore shorts and they saw my knees. It'd be over. Maybe butt, or maybe buff. If you wanted to see Buff's butt, you just don't understand. Man, you never will. There's some creepers out there, that's for sure. I just called you butt, it's true. I was hoping you didn't catch that, but you did. And I'm not ashamed. I'm only human. I was thinking of ass, so I said butt. Maybe he wanted to see the pork butt. Yeah, wrong stream, bro. Butt burglar. I don't know where butt's been, to be honest. Missing her. Me too, Thunder. I was like, tots as in the food, but pretty sure not, so I'm not gonna say anything. Should have just zipped open my pocket and brought the tots out for him. Dang it, Tina. Eat your food. I might have to watch that movie again. It's just so good. Okay, so just line up our chivers. It's always easier if you get the bottom end of them, because the top ends are pretty delicate and they like to bend a bunch. Speaking of good bad movies, you watched Spaceballs 2 nights ago. That's a good one too. I'm just gonna fine chop these. Greasy Strangler movie. Definitely not safe for work. Well, thanks for the heads up, Brooke. P.S. Who can watch movies at work, though? Well, that's what people do at the desk jobs, is they just watch movies. Okay, herbage done. When you're working at home. Okay, that's fair. That is fair, Tig. There's no way I could put Netflix on, though, while I'm doing computer work, because then I would just watch Netflix. Music, though, I can do. Okay. Nice mixed herbs to go into our garden greens. Give them a little bit of extra flavor. plus I think it will contrast the kohlrabi and the pork really well. Yeah, double tasking, multitasking. Not safe for kids or people that don't like nudity or crude humor. I will have to check this out. I know, Steve, that's what I was gonna say. It's like, sounds good. I'm in. Switching professions. Favorite TV series of all time? I think Community. I think that's my favorite. Okay, how is this? I want to make sure it's not sticking at all since it's still on the hot burner, and we're good. It was The Office. I've never watched all of The Office, but I know I would really enjoy it. Stargate SG-1 or Kids in the Hall. Never seen either of those. Okay, so it is 5:03. Our peeps should be home pretty soon. I think if anything today for the pickles, we can maybe just prep up some of the veg, but we won't actually pickle it. That way we just have a little bit less work to do tomorrow. And we just have to make the brine up and put the stuff in the jars. Hey, Uncle Stinky. How is it going? So big pot for the greens. That's just gonna go there. And I'll just put the lid on it for now. Okay, so let's start with our garlic scapes since they're crazy. Doctor Who is your answer? See, I haven't watched that one either, but my brother said it's really good. Just getting a refill on the water. Yay, you know what kohlrabi is, Uncle Stinky. So we're trying to see how everyone else prepares their kohlrabi. Like, what's your favorite way to eat it? You just started watching Parks and Rec. Oh, Tig, we just finished it. And it's so awesome that there's 7 seasons. I really like that one too, but I think Community is still my favorite. Troy and Abbott in the morning. Okay, so I'm gonna pick off these little dry pieces. Little onion skins. Parks and Rec was underrated. Sam wants to be Ron. He loves his life values. If only everyone was that simple. Very simple, just steamed with butter and salt and pepper. Nice. That's what someone else said too. And yeah, it is really good like that. I've never watched Kids in the Hall. I should write that one down. Sammy and I are always looking for new stuff to watch. But we should really not watch as much TV. I mean, I try not to in the summer. Just try and enjoy the weather more than anything. It's a hit or miss show. The episodes with Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally kill you. Yes. I liked every episode of Parks and Rec. There wasn't one bad one. Look at this one, is like tied a knot into itself. Tiff was a Canadian skit show like SNL, also by Lorne Michaels. Okay. Got a couple to check out. I will actually write these down right now. Oh, Kids in the Hall. I get it. Next bunch. Acronyms are tough. Well, they shouldn't be. Oh no, Rook. Another one? Dang, dude. That is impressive. Yeah, he is making progress. He has enough thirst on this Thursday for all of us. Okay, one more bunch. This is the big one. Ah! On the floor. Annie? Definitely me too. Yeah, I'd be in bed already. I would have puked and gone to bed. Good night. Oh no, we just knocked it everywhere. Let's just get that into the compost. Plus, if we get a gust of wind in here, it's just gonna be gone everywhere. Rook's about to set a world record. I doubt that. I don't want to know what the world record is for most beers drank in X amount of hours. What is the question of the day? I don't know. I never thought about it today. Actually, let's do this one. Let's do a nice simple one. What is your favorite type of cereal? $18 beers in one sitting. Man, even that's not too much. I am not finished yet. No, I am not. Maybe about half an hour more. Half an hour, 40 minutes. I typically go until 6. So I still have 50 minutes if I need it. More like a science question. Thunder, that's mine. That's my favorite cereal. Circus Fun? I need to Google this. The heck is that? What? It just looks like too much fun, Rook. And they had free Starburst inside. If you were standing on the North Pole today, the summer solstice, how would the sun travel across the sky? Man, I can't answer that. I'm terrible with that stuff. Standing on the North Pole today. I don't know, I'm lost. I don't have that kind of brain. Straight up. Okay, so now all we have to do with these is just cut them to length so they can fit in the jar standing up. Let's just trim one. I think something like that will be good. That way we have a little measurement for the rest of them. It's circus fun right in your bowl. You're gonna want to come and try it. Terrifying. Captain Crunch and Raisin Bran are good. Yeah, both solid. We grew up with those. Cooking is art, and therefore it has no time limit. I think Raisin Bran with the raisin and all that fiber. Raisin Bran is solid. At the North Pole, the sun would travel horizontally across the sky, always the same height above the ground. It never sets. There we go. Optrix is teaching me stuff too. I like it. And then these tops. So this gets a little bit tough, this part, but the bud is really nice to eat. So we'll just trim it down. And we can just remove that. That's not very nice to eat. Honey Nut Cheerios. Sounds good, Steve. I mean, I did like Special K, but it just got overly sweetened once it kind of blew up, and I don't really love it anymore. Wow, Chickadee China. It's been a while. How are you? And yeah, these things are a little bit of a pain in the butt to prep up for pickles, but I promise it's worth it. It's a little bit difficult to do more than one at a time just because they are all so curly. Been busy. Yeah, it seems like everyone's pretty busy in the summer. I'm doing good, China. Happy you are here with us today. In the illustrious words of Forrest Gump. Okay, we'll hold the fort down, Rook. Vanilla ice cream? I've never done that. You're dirty, and I like it. Why have I never thought to do that? The only really weird thing I've done with ice cream is mix it with peanut butter and Nutella. AKA just kind of make my own blizzard almost. And can I just say how much I adore everyone saying y'all in chat? Makes me feel like one of you guys. The assembly line is ready. All of the mise has been done. Good job, Optrix. You are set. Almond butter with vanilla ice cream and banana. That's a good one too. Okay, so that one's already cut for me. Thank you to whoever did that. And you know what, guys? I think it's time to turn on the oven. It does take a little bit to preheat. I think I'm gonna do 425. We have 14 minutes until that's ready anyways. Rook, thanks for the 200 biddies. And I am trimming off any ends that look a bit sad. Don't forget the roots. It's true. Never, Steve. Never. And Stinky. Thank you. Why not 420? Yeah, I should have. Because Sammy's not home. We'll blame him. But we did do that on 420. That was fun. Today we can only cook stuff at 420 degrees. Okay, this isn't taking us too long. We're doing pretty good. We're maybe halfway through. We're getting close at least. Well, the bill has been passed for it to be legal, but not until, I think Betty told me October 17th. So we still have a bit to wait. Can't get too excited about it yet. It tastes amazing. What tastes amazing? Oh, you already cooked it and you just have your assembly line to plate it. I get it now. We'll be here, look. Is Betty on the hype train? I don't think so. She just let me know though, because she knows I don't really watch the news ever. The chicken fajitas. Please tell me I'm not the only one that says chicken fajitas when I feel like being a terrible person. Okay, this little piece is bent, so we're just gonna get rid of that. It looked too sad. I know, now I want some chicken fajitas. I need one of those sizzling plates though, that whenever it's brought out to the customer, everyone has to watch and be like, what's that? Weed is overhyped. Honestly, it is. I agree with that, Steve. I don't know if everyone should have access to it. Like, it actually helps some people. But for it to be recreational, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to come out of this. Everyone thinks, why didn't I order that yet? Every time. It just smells so good. Weed makes you laugh and eat a lot. It definitely helps with my metabolism. That's for sure. Not really in a bad way, but it does help me want to eat when I don't want to eat, but I know I should. And yeah, it makes me a little silly. But more than anything, it just helps me sleep. Okay, we're almost there, guys. The end is nigh. Occasionally you have back pain and it helps with that. Yeah, I've heard good things like that as well. But I do feel that some people abuse it and then it affects them negatively. Do I struggle with insomnia? No. But I don't know. Last year I got anxiety from my job where Sam and I worked. And I did not sleep for almost 2 weeks straight. I honestly thought I was dying. I was a zombie. So my anxiety was really bad and I was having panic attacks, and the weed really helps with that. At least help me try to sleep for a couple of hours at a time. I mean, it sucks that I had to kind of resort to that, but at least it's natural. Like, I'd rather not take sleeping pills. I'm not alone. Thanks, Thunder. Yeah, that's the good part is I've done a lot of reading and educating myself, and it's nice to know that I'm not the only person that has dealt with that, because that was probably the scariest thing I've ever dealt with in my life. But now I know the signs and like the triggers and stuff, so since then, like since last year, I've only had a couple minor ones, but nothing crazy. So I know I've kind of gotten out of that rut, which is good. Okay, so there's our pile of scapes. I think I'm going to start to put them into the jars while we wait. I think that's the best option here. We need these jars to be packed tight. That way you're not wasting any of the pickle brine. So maybe just grab a bunch in your hand and then put a bunch of it in at one time. You heard today that 2 Canadian weed growers are on the New York Stock Exchange? Yes, get in on that before it blows up. It's definitely going to be a good investment. At least I would think it would be. I don't think it would go down. Cuisined. Hi, how are you? So these are pretty difficult to get to stay straight in the jar. Is there any way to switch servers because every channel has lag for you? I have no idea. My channel should definitely not be lagging for you. That just might be your internet connection. Use incense and also spearmint and eucalyptus oil lotion really helps. Yes, so Sam's mom is involved with essential oils, so I have a lot of essential oils that I use at nighttime. I put some in the diffuser, and then there's one that Sam and I use. We just kind of rub it under our nose, and it's meant for sleeping and stuff and like opening up your airway. It's great. It's called Easy Air, and it's minty, like you said. It's so good. Rook. And another one. Problem in the US is that banks don't want to lend to weed growers. Really? They think that's just going to be trouble or what? Oh, I'm doing good, Cuisine. Thanks for asking. Okay, these things are being a pain in the butt. Your coworker had an orange citrus diffuser. Yeah, we have one like that too. Citrus Bliss. This makes everything smell so fresh. It is still a federal crime, even though states have legalized it. Ah, that makes sense. That is so silly though. Like, that doesn't even make sense. The fact that the states did it, like all of US did it in just separate states compared to Canada just doing it for the whole country. Like, I wonder what the difference of that is. Now they get their pension in prison. Exactly. Oh, man. Hey, Rush, I was wondering about you, man. It's like, he must be busy. Work was really, really good yesterday. Thanks for asking. It feels like my new home away from home, so that's really good. Okay, that's enough for that jar. I'm just gonna trim off those tops, but I don't think we can stuff any more in there. That's a Sammy. Sammy has arrived with the beer. Just like you guys asked.
So bad.
I'm bad. Rush, how are you doing? Okay, so there's that one. Am I pickling? Yeah, we're getting it ready to pickle tomorrow. Because we're going to run out of time today. But at least we can prep ahead. That way we just have to cover it with the brine. So like we can even just cover that. And it'll be okay, but you need to keep it in the fridge overnight still. Rook, thank you, man. Spoilt. Thirsty Thursday, it's true. You're okay, you're up for work. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we can keep you company for a little bit before work, though. I really like that, Rush. It's nice that you come visit before work. Hopefully the babe is doing well still. Healthy and happy. And same with Mrs. Rush. Once they see how much money it makes them, banks will want to hand in. Yeah, just like cigarettes and alcohol. Pretty much. Okay, maybe I'll just do it like halfway in. Kind of get it ready and then we'll push all of it in. You always got to try new stuff. See how it works. What, Rook? That would be awesome, dude. I would be so happy to finally cook you something. You've not had a drink since the girly drink. Yeah, that's been a couple of weeks already, I think, Steve. What's that? Okay, that's our oven ready. Gonna finish putting this stuff in the jar and then we'll start dins. Didn't get to the radishes today, so we'll do those tomorrow. He's good. 6 weeks old on Sunday. Wow, yeah, time is flying. Okay, so this one's a little bit less packed, but I'm okay with that. Still doing good, guys. So 2 jars of garlic scapes to pickle tomorrow. Alcohol is not too important in your life. Me neither, Steve. I mean, I mostly just drink it socially. You rarely eat dessert besides vanilla ice cream once or twice a year, but this dessert is awesome. I am in. I am into it. Okay, I'm just going to put the radishes and the garlic scapes in the other fridge. And then let's start some dins. Let's do it. you're broke, Steve, yeah, then for sure alcohol that does not take precedence over food. Unless you're an alcoholic. Oh no, Rook, you lost count. Yeah, thanks, Addie, for that. Helping our viewers stay with the squad, keeping us all together. Okay, let's cook some stuffs. So I will set a 10-minute timer, and then we'll check it at that point. And let me just have a little bite of this. Mmm. That tastes really good cooked in the veg broth. Like, I could eat it just like this. Still has a bit of crunch, which is what I'm looking for. It's nice and juicy. Seasoned pretty well, too. I'm munching. Okay. Bring the greens over. So much greenery. I'll probably do this and this. So let's look at how thick this sauce got, which is awesome. Rusty Nail, sup? So let's whisk the skin back into this. Not actually skin, just a skin that forms over most dairy products like this if it sits for a while uncovered. But you can tell just how nice it is. Kohlrabi will be so good in there. You're chilling. I mean, I'm not really chilling, I'm just cooking, but it's pretty chilling here still. A good friend of yours, invited you over to have scalloped potatoes that she made, and the potatoes were undercooked. That was 20 years ago. Did you tell her? Just ate them anyways. She knew and she was disappointed. Aw, that's the worst. Yeah, I always feel so bad when that happens. As long as she learned from her mistake. But at the end of the day, as I always say, it's only food. So if you mess up, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I slathered a whole garden, pretty much. Like the veg, the kohlrabi's from the farm, and the greens are from the garden outside here. The herbs are all from here, and just the pork was not sourced locally. Trying to see who I'm gonna raid after this, but I am not sure. Maybe Lady Hannah. I've never gone into that channel before, so that looks interesting. If you guys have someone to suggest, by all means, go for it. The pork was shipped from China. I highly doubt that. Somewhere in North America, though. You love to raid people, Rusty? Me too. It's fun. Can you come? Of course. If you were to pick one kitchen item that I don't have that I wish I had, what would it be? Yeah, a vac pack. Sammy, you can't answer for me. As in a utensil. A utensil that I don't have? Have you seen my drawer? Have you seen this monstrosity? I don't know if there's a utensil that I don't have, to be honest. Like, I have a pizza cutter, an oyster shucker.
A muddle for doing cocktails.
Oh, yeah. A muddler. Like, I don't have a cocktail set. That's pretty much all I'm missing. But everything else I'm pretty stocked up on. I have a cherry pitter even. Maybe more of these scoops. These are always handy to use on cookies.
Stopped on the side of the road and got a bag of cherries.
What? Yum. I love cherries. A grapefruit spoon. Yeah, oysters. Oh, so I have to, for my Saturday shift, so Wednesdays I work at 11, Saturdays I work at noon, so that I can stay a little bit later until probably around 7 and work the first wave of people with them, because Chef gets just crushed with shucking oysters, so I have to help him, and I haven't done it in so long. So that's going to be a fun relearning experience. I mean, the first restaurant I ever worked in served oysters, so I learned real quick how to do it, but it's been quite a while. What about an Eierbecher? Eierbecher? What's that? I need to look that up. Hello. Oh, we don't have those. Sammy loves to have his eggs like that. Like, when we were visiting his parents, that's how we had breakfast in the mornings, is with our eggs like that. I'd be down. I love those little things. Am I back on again tonight, Rush? No, but I will be back tomorrow. I'm still doing Fridays. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays. A hand-powered beater? Betty has one of those. And I already have like the immersion blender. I think I'm good with everything else, honestly. And this is another thing that I still want to play around with you guys, is like the siphon. And I do have a book on it. So we need to whip up some stuff in there. You can even infuse oils with those things, not just used for whipped cream. Like, that's a really, really easy way to make infused oils, is just put a cartridge in. You've never seen one, Annie? They're so much fun to use. Except when people don't know how to use it and they spray it all over the ceiling. That's happened. The pork looks good and smells really good. So I'm going to pour some olive oil into our greens pot. Just enough to coat. Just like I said, the greens will mostly be steamed more than sautéed. Use your stainless steel shaker to drink whole milk from. Yes! That's what we always used in the kitchens. If you're gonna drink milk, drink it out of the stainless from the bar. Classic. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm missing, is a nice cocktail set, but everything else I think we're stocked up on. That was a good question, though. Thanks for making me think. Dead soldiers? Yes. My tattoo does say Bon Appetit. Yeah, it's a beet, because I love beets. A watermelon cutter. Does that exist? You just call it trash. Okay, so we are gonna use the thermometer for the pork. I mean, typically I can tell just by feeling it when it's done. I don't want to feel it up too much because then the cornflakes might fall off. Getting our plate. Rusty, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I am passionate about cooking. I don't think I'll ever stop. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this career route. And I've been enjoying every single one that I've done so far. It's always an adventure. Cooking is always awesome unless you're in a rush. Yeah. I got sick of cooking like that, I have to say. So that's our 10-minute timer. I know, crazy how fast that goes by. Definitely still a little raw, but let's check it out. Maybe you guys want to see this. Just a little bit of browning action there, and I'm gonna temp the biggest one. But then we have to keep in mind that these smaller ones are just gonna cook up a little bit faster. So we might take them out a few minutes earlier and let them rest. So you wanna go right in the middle, or as close as you can to it. And like I said, we're looking for around 140 to 145, which will be medium doneness in the middle. So we're hovering around 100 degrees for this big guy. So let us do maybe 7 more minutes, not quite 10 is what I'm thinking. And then we'll check it again. And then I think we can slowly start to heat up the kohlrabi in the bechamel sauce. Perfect cornflake breakfast. Why does pork scare you sometimes? Not asking in a bad way. I just like to know why. Because I know a lot of people feel that way. Just pulled your chicken out at 152 to let it rest and get up to 155. Perfect, Rook. It's gonna be nice and juicy. Okay. This whisk can leave us now. Let's just put this on to a nice low heat. I'm gonna use this guy to stir with the kohlrabi. You get weirded out making sure that it's cooked right, so it usually turns into leather. A lot of people are scared of food, Steve. And it's understandable. I should make Julia Child's caramelized walnut ice cream. That sounds good. Mostly just cooking pork. That is very fair, Rusty. And that's why I like to just use a thermometer.
We need an ice cream maker. Like,
A good one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a good one at work. I need to just see what the brand is.
Paco Jet.
It's not a Paco Jet.
No, we should get a Paco Jet.
Okay, you can save up for that.
Leave it on the food truck.
So yeah, Rusty, that's why I always just use a thermometer. And I don't know how you like your pork cooked, but typically I like to cook it around medium temp. So it's a little bit pink still in the middle, which keeps all the juices in. And that temp, around a 140 to 145 Fahrenheit. And then always let it rest for at least 5 minutes before you slice it. Because if you slice it right away, all of the juices will come out. I have faith that you can do it. Oh, hey, vegan. Is there a cheaper thermometer that's reliable? Like something in the $30 range? Oh, yeah. This is probably $6. I don't even know where it came from, to be honest. But my digital one, the battery is dead, and I've just neglected to get another one. But I don't think they're very expensive. Let's get a stir on here. I shouldn't have let that skim form on top, because now it just looks a little bit lumpy. But there's no way that we made a lumpy bechamel. You guys know this. You saw it before. So I'm hoping that as it heats up, the lumps will come out. Because we do want a nice silky sauce. Silky and smooth. Or we can just kind of mash them out like this. Put our kohlrabi in. How's the lighting? Maybe I need to turn this guy on. You're in Germany, you actually tried pork tartare that a friend of yours made. You were a bit too trusting. What happened? The traditional haggis is banned in America? Really? Why? So let's just stir this until it's nicely coated, and it'll slowly come back up to temp. And we only have to cook it around 20% more, and then it's done. This looks deadly though. And then as soon as the pork comes out, I will start the greens. Chronic's in here too. Welcome back. Thanks to the biddies. Sheep lung and liver in the intestines. You may have to sous vide pork tenderloin this weekend. It is so good done like that. Zam, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. You were fine, but you would never think about doing that in the US. No, thank you. You're growing your stash out, but it's too disappointing. Yeah, don't shave in the kitchen. You just have to keep doing that though, Steve. Is just keep growing it out and shaving it, and it will come back thicker. I only know that because I am Sammy's beard master. I am the barber. Okay, let's check it. Oh yeah, getting some nice brown in action. You like Sam's Club too? Okay. Back into it. Oh, I think we're done. I think we're perfect. This guy maybe a bit more, but the rest of them, let's check again. Yeah, this guy, maybe a few more minutes. Right, this one is good. That one. Those are for sure. This one's like well done. Just by the way I'm feeling it. Yeah, she's only at 110. Okay, let's take the majority of these off. And the cornflake crust is staying on quite nice. Maybe all 3 of those will go back in, and the smaller ones can stay out. See, I'm sure you guys would have fun doing a Sammy stream. Sammy and the boys. The Thermapen uses those coin-shaped 2032s. Oh yeah, the battery is easy to find. I just have to go to the drugstore, I think. I've just been terrible though. I will say that. Oh yeah, beef ribs. We got beef back ribs. But I do love sable fish. Sort of like monkfish. Have you ever had black cod? Because it's the same thing. Just some people call it sable fish and some people call it black cod. It's like the white fish of salmon, let's say. I think it's even more fatty than salmon. Will you see a different side of Kate? Oh, when I get home? For sure. You'll see Kitchen Kate. You've had regular cod. You should try and source them for yourself. So typically I like to do the black cod with miso. So good. Okay, and I guess we should set this timer. Let's do 5. And this stuff is boiling. We do want to cook it a little bit still, because like I said, it was still just a touch crunchy, which we just want it tender. We don't want it crunchy. You'll see if you can find it, yeah. You get pompano, red snapper, etc., but you don't get the more exotic fish. That's fair. It is pretty expensive too, I will tell you that. Okay, you know what? I think I'll take my last bathroom break and then we're pretty much ready to play. Chillin'. Just turn that low so nothing crazy happens in 30 seconds. Your roommate homeowner has a ban on fish in the house. Oh yeah. I'm so sad for you, Uncle Stinky. You can only eat fish outside. Well, I guess that's better than nothing at all. We'll look at the positive side of that. I'm gonna take a piece of this out and give it a try. And then I'm also going to turn on our pot to medium high. I can't get it out. $24 to $30 Canadian per pound. Holy. What did we pay for the regular lingcod? $9 a pound. Okay, still a little bit crunchy. But it's not sticking onto the bottom, so I think I'm just gonna cover this. I think that's our best option right now. So maybe it'll steam a little bit. 7 pounds at $9. Yeah, compared to the sablefish is 24 to 30. Nuts. And our timer is just about to go off again. Sizzle sound. 2 pounds of sablefish for 7 pounds of lingcod. Terrifying. Okay, so we feel this now. It's nice and firm. That's what we're looking for. So these bigger pieces can just rest. Dunzo with the oven. But I have nowhere else to put this pan, so this is where it's gonna live for now. How good does that look, though? Thanks, Karen. I'm happy you're still in here. 161, you want me to temp it? I think, yeah, you're almost spot on. Nah, I don't think it's that high. Maybe like 150. Let's go. As soon as this oil's smoking, our greens are going in, and as always, it likes to pop a bit. See, I think this thing's broken. It's not going over 110, but this is completely done. So I'm sorry, Rook, but we cannot fact check that for you today. I guess I have to go get a new battery for the thermometer. So I'm just gonna pull it out now, and that way I won't forget about it anymore. It's only $6 after all. Yeah, exactly. That's it for that one. Okay, oil's smoking. Ready? around with my hand. Okay, now we're going to cover that. Let it steam. Shots fired. Watch out, world. Ooh, cover the pork with honey. That would be good. You use NIST calibrated thermometers for making your coffee? That's impressive. Ah, nice. You use a Chemex. One of my culinary friends was super into coffee, and I remember him showing me that. Should add another camera on my face. Like a real show? I do. Hello there. Welcome. How are you? It needs more lemon pepper. I don't know what happened to Trist. I've tried to contact him, and I've heard nothing back, so I hope he's okay. I'm happy I woke you up, Buff. I knew it was going to. Reika, thanks for the follow. I'm not judging you. I would for sure fall asleep. That's how I always fell asleep, is to streamers. Scat, how are you? It's been a while. The tilt is real. I like the tilt. I've gotten really good at the tilt. When was the last time we heard from him? I was trying to think. Last week, maybe? Or was it, yeah, I don't know. Monday? I don't know. Just give that a stir around. Move this stuff from the bottom away from there so that the top stuff can now steam a bit. And then our kohlrabi, I'm sure, is pretty much good to go. Ashi, what are you doing here? Give it one more stir-zy. And we'll just turn off the heat since the burner stays warm. And we'll just cover it. And then by the time we plate, we should be good to go. Oh wait, we do need to season it. So it does need a little bit of salt and pepper. Maybe a tablespoon worth of salt. Good, guys? Wait, let me catch up. Reika, you did it for the pork. Rusty, thanks for telling Reika to come in. Can I say the bechamel? Sounds good, Akaran. Guys, don't be scared. It's only pork. It makes you smile. He just got back from Sedona? I don't know. Mango sorbet and raspberry frozen lollies. Yum. Joe Steve. Holy. Okay, these greens are donezo. Look at that steam coming out of there. Woohoo! They got a little bit charred. I like it. Okay, herbs in. S&P. Perfect. Now it's working. This thing has always been weird though. I found it in a freezer.
There's the old battery.
Oh, what? Guys, Sammy had a battery.
Nope, no one had a battery.
Alright. Betty had a battery. You didn't do nothing, Rusty. Okay. Let's get to plating. So I'm just going over to the stove. Watch there, guys. So kohlrabi first. And then the greens on top. If you want, you can put as much or as little of the white sauce. Really, whatever you want. I'm gonna sneeze though. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. I got some pepper at my nose, but we're good. We're gonna make a bed of greens to put the pork onto. Like so. Time to slice. Big Tyler Steve. Yeah, Steve Tyler. Chronic, thanks for the bits. Okay. I honestly think I want to take this little guy for presentation. Rook, thanks for the biddies as well. You're killing it, man. Your parents didn't even know your middle name? Okay, so I'm just going to cut this into 3 nice pieces. So the less we slice it, the less the cornflake crust is going to come off.
And you finish it with maple syrup. If you want.
What?
Pork.
Why?
I always did it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you've done this before. So let's look. That is exactly what we're looking for. Nice medium pork. Rusty, you best be watching right now. Don't be scared. And now all we gotta do with that now, just simply place it on there. I'm gonna kind of fan it, or at least try to. Maybe I'll plate it that way, just because it feels like it kind of wants to fall off. And then, hey, if you really want to, you can kind of garnish the plate with some of the cornflakes, because they're still nice and crispy. I think that would look good. Plus, they are seasoned with herbs too, right? But you still want to leave the cut pork exactly how it is. You don't want to get any of the cornflakes on there. Oh, your middle name is Tyler. This looks good though. Yeah, the pup wants to plate. How good does that look though? That is my little German interpretation of what this should be. Good night, Karen. Oh, a tricycle, yum. Guys, this is the beer that Sammy's drinking. Grapefruit Radler, called Tricycle. Thanks, guys. Okay, you know what the deal is. Quick photo, and then we'll taste. Looks too good. Oh, Despacito! I'm happy you're here. I hope your summer break is going well. I think I'm just gonna pop these other few pieces of pork back in so it stays warm while I'm tasting. It's a chef thing. I can't help it. I don't want to feed people cold food. Cut a piece off of the pork, but first we can taste the veg. Let's have a piece of the kohlrabi. Yeah, which cheeks? It's still a bit crunchy, but I really like it like this. Calm it down, meow. That's really tasty. It really, the white sauce really calms down, I guess, the earthiness of the broccoli flavor or the cabbagey flavor of the kohlrabi. What's going on over here? I just hear a dog doing things. Okay, going into the greens.
I get some pizza snacks.
Get out of there, you butthead.
Trying to get some pizza snacks. Hey.
Greens are perfect.
What?
I like the mix. You can definitely tell there is some kohlrabi greens in there because it's just a little bit more chewy than the Swiss chard and the kale. Hi, MILF. How are you, man? A boneless pizza? You're crazy. Yeah, Pasha's nose is getting her into trouble right now. She's trying to break into the guy's lunchbox. Bone-in Wagyu pizza. I'm in. So now, we need to make sure that the pork is perfectly seasoned before I feed it to everyone else. Mmm. Those herbs in there, so good. think it just needs a touch of salt. So in that case, we don't want to just sprinkle kosher salt over this. Can you not? Now she's trying to lick my fingers as I'm standing here.
She's like, that smells good.
Posh, are you innocent? So what you want is a really nice flake salt. So this is what I typically use. Maldon salt. It's a kitchen thing. You guys don't have to buy this, but just get something nice and flaked. A fleur de sel works too. Just sprinkle that over top. And that way you'll have a nicer mouthfeel when you eat that. Compared to crunching down on something, which would be very weird if you're eating pork. Too cute. Okay, that is it. Morton's Sea Salt. I don't know if I've heard of that brand. That's just if you're being picky though. You can add salt. But you will notice the flavor between the flake and just the kosher. Oh, I'm totally a dog person. Okay, well, MILF, we're ending the stream. So if you want to get your butt on, I'll come raid you. Because otherwise we're going to do a cooking streamer, probably. So let me know in the next 2 minutes. Say less. Thanks, Rook. Yeah, that was a really good cook. I'm happy with how this dish turned out. Everything balanced out nicely. I really like the kick of herbs though with the pork, and you don't taste the mustard at all. Okay, sounds good, Rook. Thanks for everything today, dude. Lots of biddies. Keep your drinks flowing. Bye, Chronic. Okay. Milf's not saying nothing. Let's go. Should we do Lady Hannah? Oh, he is on?
Yeah, read it up.
Okay. What is it? Just MILF Money TV?
MILF Money TV.
This is who Sammy plays with. Fortnite. We're going in. So, thanks guys for all the love today. All the new follows, the biddies. It means a lot to me. You know that. I missed you guys yesterday. But we will be back tomorrow. It's going to be a fun stream. Spaghetti bolognese. Everything from scratch. And pickles. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. MILF, watch out. We're coming for you. Everyone have a wonderful night or day wherever you are. And thanks for cooking with me. Hopefully you learned some stuff. Bye. You got the Brazil hat and red card emote.